Hi, I'm Sahil Sambhi and I'm speaking to PEAKLIFE Magazine.
Welcome back to Peak Life. Peak Life, as we said, is about people who are driven by passion. One of the most passionable industry in this whole scenario is gourmet. And we have among us a person who has actually redefined culinary experience in India. He is now expanding to London and is doing remarkably well in Indian market with brands like VietNom, which has already made a mark, with Japanico, and now NADOO. We are actually sitting with Sahil Sambhi. Welcome, Sahil.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Well, Sahil, tell me one thing. How did this thought came across?
While growing up, my family, me, all of us were food enthusiasts. We used to go out to eat at least a meal once a week, which was quite a lot back then. And always the thought of what would be cooked at home, what would the meal be like, was a big topic in our homes. So growing up, food was something that was very important to my life. And one such opportunity came in 2015 when Molecule was being launched.
Yeah.
And I happened to be a part of it. It became successful. And the rest is history. So we kept doing one after the other. And it's been 11 years now and opened 25 outlets.
Wow.
Across 7-8 brands.
No, incredible. No, just to actually, just for our readers and for our viewers, it's very difficult nowadays, the culinary whole experience with the average Indian traveled a lot, young population, they know their food, they know their taste. So to gauge what they want is a difficult scenario. So what actually come across your mind when you are actually conceptualizing a restaurant? Like coming up with a conceptual South Indian driven restaurant, we all have grown up with dosas and idlis and we all love it. We share that background in Bangalore. But to come and start something new with a fresh mindset, doing something different, what comes across? I'm making it sound very simple, but it's a very complex process.
So I'll tell you, you were right about the fact that people are more well-traveled.
Yep.
People, the awareness, the knowledge of food is way more than what it used to be.
True.
And so when, talk about a decade back, people wanted to do multi-cuisine restaurants because they thought that the value addition to the table would be much more. A family could come in and, everybody could choose which cuisine they wanted to eat. But with the travel, with the extensive exposure of eating out to great restaurants abroad, what has happened is the dining out has now become more conceptualized, more speciality. People want to have a nice, good sake and sushi experience. They don't want to mix cuisines. They want to go out for a specific cuisine. So what that has done is it's also encouraged us as restaurateurs to do concepts which sort of raise the bar, do more experiential stuff, don't do stuff which fits everybody. So with all my brands, you say Japanico, Tango, NADOO, we target a certain section of audience, an audience which is fully aware of what they're going in for. Like, what is the experience while booking a table at Japanico? They're sort of prepared what they're getting into. It's not an unknown territory to them anymore. So it's fun because once the bar is so high, the customer knows everything. It's actually fun to curate concepts which sort of match what they expect.
Isn't it risky, to create something like VietNom for that matter, and NADOO for that matter? Now, VietNom in itself, I think the first Vietnamese inspired cuisine.
Yeah.
People are very much aware about the Thai cuisine.
Yeah.
People are well versed about the Indonesian, Malaysian, because of Vietnam, of course, has come across as a new cuisine.
Yeah.
Wasn't it risky? What was the research process behind it?
So we opened VietNom in 2019. The first VietNom opened in Cyber Hub. The stats were very simple. We all, Indians love Southeast Asian food.
Love it.
And at that point of time, we'd had experience of Chinese, Japanese was starting to come in, Thai was always there. Vietnamese food is as good as any of its these competitive cuisines.
Absolutely.
And in between 2018 to 2024, the highest travel city or the country from India is Vietnam.
Vietnam, yes.
So when there are increasing number of people going to Vietnam, they're going to try the local food there. Then why not open something? I mean, there must be a certain section of audience which loves the food there.
Of course.
So, and the food is very palatable. The food is so healthy, so fresh. I think I love taking these challenges up. I love doing things which nobody else has attempted. So Vietnam, I was very confident. We got a lot of help from the embassy. We sourced a lot of ingredients. Our chefs went there for training. So when we opened Vietnam, it was like Vietnam to Vietnam. That's how good it was.
Lovely.
Yeah.
No, so like you mentioned, peak life is about attitude. I know that the tagline, it's all about the attitude. And right, you said risk makes you a leader.
Absolutely.
You have taken that risk. But still, do you think Indian culinary system in altogether, like we were having a brief chat before this talk, that Indian culinary is still to grow a lot. But do you think we are still lacking in certain aspects and there is lots to improve in our culinary experience?
See, I mean, there's always a room for improvement. You never stop learning, you never stop growing. India, I think, in my opinion, the restaurants that we have in India are now at the right track. People are, pushing barriers, doing concepts which are super aspirational, ingredient forward, cuisine forward. I think you travel across the world, the best curated concepts are from Asia these days.
Yep.
The only place where I think we lack sometimes, or where we are facing a challenge, is the ingredient quality.
Yeah.
Our imports, if could get better, could get more viable. The ingredients could get better, and we could be at par with any other country in this world.
But we're still there.
We're almost there. I mean, we're almost there. I mean, you talk about Japanese, you talk about European, you talk about any cuisine in the world. We've got one of the best restaurants that.
Yeah, I think in last 7-8 years, lots of entrepreneurs like you have done a very good job.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
I mean, you'll be surprised. We sell the highest black cod in the country.
Yep.
And it's a fully imported fish. It's not found in India. Even for that matter, ingredients like caviar, ingredients like truffle. People know exactly the variant of truffle they want.
Of course.
It's not just truffle anymore.
You can't give them anything.
Similar with caviar.
Yep.
I mean, we have people who are coming in for a caviar meal. They want caviar on top of dim sums. They want caviar with so many things that they want.
Yep.
So that's the kind of exposure the Indian audience now has.
Yeah,
so,
of course, and it's lots like we mentioned, it's about the travel history they have.
Yeah.
Now, and lots of young population who wants to explore.
Yeah.
They know their stuff.
Absolutely.
And, and you have spoken about the risk part from a founder's lens. Risk always comes with some fear. Risk always comes with certain level of uncertainty, but it actually turns out to be good at one point, or some mistakes happen. What was your biggest mistake in those terms, and what have you learned out of that, if any?
I mean, I think if you don't take the risk, you don't push the barrier. If you don't push the barrier, you don't break, and you don't make history. Going safe never made history.
Never.
So I think coming to a mistake I made, my most expensive mistake was signing a property, building a restaurant in Chhatarpur, Delhi, and my licenses didn't come. So I think that's where I learned to sort of do a pre-opening due diligence more. I mean, now I have a proper team who kind of does the due diligence. So we made this beautiful restaurant looking across Qutub Minar, and the entire restaurant was ready, and our licenses did not come through. So that was the biggest mistake I made in my career. It was a huge financial dent.
So and you learned that the
we spent
team
6 months. We spent 6 months. We made the whole restaurant, and our excise license didn't come. The entire restaurant went for waste. So that was the most expensive mistake I've made. But after that, the learning has been great. I mean, you always learn from your mistakes. So we have a proper process of doing due diligence, finding about the sites, getting a pre-approval on the licenses before we sign up a property.
Yeah.
So
but that saves the time and the cost.
It does, it does.
Because this industry is totally driven by timing.
Yeah.
And any industry for that matter.
Absolutely.
Any business is time oriented.
Absolutely.
If you are not doing things in time, it will actually cost you heavy.
Agreed.
Time is of essence.
Agreed.
And so when you are managing it so well, and I'm sure it takes lots of your time.
Yeah.
How does your personal life comes into this foray? What is a day like in Sahil's life?
I mean, I love working. I'm a workaholic, and my family knows that. For me, work is therapy. So I mean, I start my day early, and the initial first 2 hours of the day are spent with myself. I work out. I spend time with my family. Then I leave work at 10:30 is when I leave for work. Go to my restaurants, go to my upcoming restaurants, go to office. Then I finally come back home at 9:10, eat a small meal, spend time with the family and sleep. So it's a very simple lifestyle. I'm not a night person, I'm a morning person.
Oh, nice.
I start my day very early. I think the best part of my day is the 2 hours that I have with myself in the morning. That's typically how my day looks like.
Like you mentioned that you like to go out to restaurants and eat, and I'm sure you travel a lot because now you're expanding in
Yeah.
different countries. We'll come to that. So when you're traveling across the world, what service do you think is a must for you and which should be replicated in all your restaurants?
So I'm very intrigued by how Europeans manage their restaurants, you know.
Yeah,
I mean-
the cost centric and very few people managing everything.
They're
Yep.
super efficient.
True.
You know, I've seen three people handling service for 100 people
Agreed.
in a restaurant bar, and nobody complains. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets their beer on time. So that's something I see that we can learn from there. It's the same three people here, the same three
You have
people
touched
there.
a very important aspect, and
Yeah.
this is my observation when I
Yeah.
travel as well, and when I go to restaurants
Yeah.
and see this. Where is this lacking in India? Is this the training?
I think I mean, there are 2-3 factors to it. I think they take their job very seriously. They're far more invested with what they do. They're far more sincere, and that comes with the upbringing. That comes with early education. That work is everything. Here, unfortunately, due to the population, the mentality is one restaurant, I'll stop working, I'll get a job in the next restaurant. So there's no job fear. And I think that's where the efficiency lacks. If we're able to replicate that, our efficiency will increase far. I mean, we've got expats working in our restaurant. I mean, Japnico is headed by an expat. The Tango is headed by an expat. The work ethics that I see from them are very different from what we have here amongst Indians. If that is one thing that we could learn from the West, I think it'll kind of change. There'll be a huge change, huge shift in a lot of things that we offer.
Agreed. I'm in absolute agreement with you in the part of that why they can and why we can't.
We cannot, yeah.
Because we are far more experienced in those terms. We can handle it better. But
also,
this is
one more
something-
thing I've learned overseas is if there is a restaurant even selling just one product, there is a huge respect for that restaurant.
Of course.
I mean, if there is somebody who's just selling a waffle, and that waffle is famous, there'll be a line outside just to eat that waffle.
True.
In India, people try and do too much. They'll have waffle, they'll have 10 other things to offer. So there is no one hero which people want to go for.
The concise menu is not there.
Yeah, so there are places who are selling. I mean, I know a place in Italy who sells only margherita pizza. The menu is margherita pizza. There is no variation, there is no up and down, there are no flavors. It's just one pizza, and there is a line outside just wanting to have that pizza.
Of course.
So they value speciality. They value a restaurant for that one dish which nobody does better than them.
I think it is about the consumer mindset as well, which will change now.
Also,
because as a typical Indian would rather say, we actually go to a restaurant and think that, okay, this is South Indian, where is North Indian, where is the dal makhani, or vice versa, figuratively.
I mean, you have to realize the value for money is getting one thing which is brilliant.
Brilliant, yes.
Rather than getting 5 things that are average for the same amount of money.
Yes.
So the moment we realize that one thing, that this $100, if you can get me one thing brilliant, that's equally or better than what I can get in 5.
But have you ever been asked like this from a customer coming to you and asking you why you are just focusing on one cuisine in the restaurant? I want to experience something else.
I was shocked to my wits when chef told me somebody asked her if you get butter chicken here.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, a completely South Indian restaurant, and We love our butter chicken. I love my butter chicken, but I wouldn't go asking a South Indian restaurant whether I serve a butter
But
chicken.
is it with that is something to do with how we have grown since our childhood?
Yeah.
Like
Because we've got everything everywhere.
everywhere.
I mean, you go to a Haldiram, you have a Chinese, you have Asian, you have Indian, you have European. You get everything in one menu.
One menu,
You
yes.
get chaat also.
Yeah, people are used to that. That one place you are going with a family,
get everything.
a child wants something else, mother wants something else, wife wants something else.
Yeah.
But talking about these experiences, has there any good experience? Somebody has come to you as a customer and told you that wow, or any memorable thing which has come to you?
I mean, majority of our experiences, majority of our customers are people who've traveled, are people who we love talking to. You know, I go to majority of my tables. I try and strike a conversation because I feel food is not just food on the plate.
Yeah.
A food is a full experience, it takes you back to your travel. You know, if somebody has a donne biryani in NADOO, it'll immediately take that person back to the streets of Bangalore where donne biryani is found. You've been to Bangalore, you've stayed in Bangalore, I've stayed in Bangalore. The donne biryani in Bangalore, if you can get it here, it instantly transports you to Bangalore.
Of course.
So that's what food does to you. It's so nostalgic. It's sort of, you remember the person you ate that donne biryani with. So it's a small flashback of a memory you've had.
Food is the most relatable thing, I think, for a person.
Yeah, so we get such people.
Any memorable one? Any memorable experience? Somebody has just come to you and you were not expecting that, okay, this will...
So, I mean, I was in Japnico initially when it opened. The family was sitting, they had food, and my manager called me that, you know, somebody wants to meet you. The first thing I asked was, everything okay? I mean, usually people want to meet for complaints.
Yeah, true.
And I said, if everything is okay. He said, you know, I'm very happy they want to meet you. I went to the table and they said, boss, you've outdone Zuma.
Oh, wow.
And I said, that is a huge compliment because my inspiration of making Japnico was Zuma.
Oh, nice.
And when somebody came up to me and said, you know, we've outdone Zuma, was so kind of them, and that kind of, you know, I gave myself a pat on my shoulder. Hey, well done. You know, this is what you wanted to do, and this is what you've done.
No, this something actually gives you self-esteem and the boost as well to do something new and creatively new.
Yeah, I mean, these are you know, these are acknowledgements or these are pat on the backs that we live for because nobody tells us whether we're doing right or wrong.
True.
I mean, forget right. Everybody tells you you're doing wrong. They want to pull you down, but very few people want to say, okay, you've done well. You're doing the right thing. So that's sort of things that we look forward to.
Of course, and that gives you a window to try something new.
Absolutely.
Forward. And talking about the new markets you're entering, tell us about that.
So this is a big year for us. I think I'm launching 8 new brands this year.
Oh wow!
And India, overseas. I mean, we're expanding quite a bit this year. We're opening a new brand called Yaki, which is launching next week. It's probably the world's first duck bar. We have a counter sitting where we have a duck experience for 9 courses.
Oh, nice.
We have a teppanyaki, we have robata yaki, so it's called Yaki. We're launching a cocktail bar, it's called Let's Kiss.
Oh wow.
And
interesting name.
Yes, so Let's Kiss is not Let's Kiss, it says let's keep it short and simple.
Yes.
So because I feel the cocktail bars are so good, but they're so heavy on you. You know, they're so complicated. It's so much storytelling, and in my opinion, drinking out was much simpler earlier. So I want to keep it very simple. I want to make a place which people can come on a Monday night, enjoy as much as they would do on a Friday night. So that's new. Then there is a Korean barbecue space coming up, very high-end Korean barbecue space with an international chef. Then there is a restaurant on the Golf Course Road, which is one of the most aspirational restaurants that I would have made. Then there is a new Indian restaurant brand that I'm opening, which is launching in Hyderabad, Chandigarh, a couple of more places. Then we're doing London. We're doing NADOO and Japnico in London. So lot of spaces, lot of new concepts, lot of new brands. It's going to be a busy year.
Why London?
I think London and Dubai are 2 places where they're the most cosmopolitan.
Yep.
And experiments with food are most likely to be accepted there. And you know, Southern Indian food, Japanese food, these 2 cuisines are something which people in London already love. It's already a proof of concept.
True.
Zuma, Nobu, Roka, they're doing fantastically well. Go to Hopper, go to Tamil Crown, go to Tamil Prince. These are restaurants that are fantastically well. So these are two cuisines, or these are two accepted proof of concepts that I want to do in London, but in a different way than what has already been done.
All the best for that, and
Thank
I'm
you.
sure. And are you looking at Dubai sometime soon?
I was looking at Dubai, but I put those plans on hold for a couple of years because I think the situation right now is not the
Geopolitical.
best.
Yes,
But Dubai is something we'll
it's a
definitely
very
look
promising
at.
market.
It is.
Very
It'll bounce back.
Yes, it will. It has to.
It'll bounce back.
So, you have spoken passionately about the restaurants and the new ones you're opening. If all these restaurants were your children, they are, of course. Which one is rebel for you?
Rebel. I think Vietnam. I'll tell you why. Because there is an increased pressure of making it a pan Asian to include more a wider variety
Yes.
of food, but it keeps saying to me, no, keep it Vietnamese, keep it Vietnamese, keep it Vietnamese. Do not shift focus.
It gives you that itch. That okay. And which one is overachiever?
Overachiever. I won't call anybody an overachiever, but I think NADOO has achieved things right. Long way to go though. We've just been 100 days old now.
Yeah.
But I think it started off brilliantly.
No. And which one needs constant attention, that you have to be at it every time?
I think the Tango.
Difficult cuisine?
It's European.
Yeah.
Also, when a restaurant trends a lot, it needs more work to keep it trending. When you go higher, it's difficult to go high.
Yes.
But it's harder to stay higher.
Yeah, the consistency is difficult to achieve.
It's difficult to go there, but it's harder to stay there.
Of course, no, but I'm sure you're doing a brilliant job in
Thank
that.
you.
And we wish you that
Thank you.
you keep your fire alive. I think that is something which
Absolutely.
is driven, and the passion is driving all the brands.
Yeah, this cannot be a business. This needs to be something. It needs to come from within. The fire within you has to ignite to do stuff which probably is new, unique, and keep evolving. I think you can't open a restaurant and sit on it for 10 years and not do anything.
You can't. You have to be evolving.
Every single day is a new day.
What do you think is the biggest myth about owning a restaurant business in India?
I've said this before. I mean, people think it's glamorous, and I think it's absolutely not glamorous. Everybody, half of them want to get into the industry to be known or to be famous. They feel, restaurateurs are people who are celebrated. But I think it's the most difficult job to own or to run or to operate a successful restaurant. So, and it takes a lot of grind behind the scenes than the grind in front of the scene.
How much involved are you during the processes?
Fully.
Or are you involved in the, of course, not in the operational part, or of course the things, but do you keep a sense of how things are growing, not just financially, operationally? What are the challenges? Do you speak to the team regularly about it?
See, I'm a hands-on guy, right from choosing the property to designing the restaurant to what the menu is going to be, to what the marketing is going to be, to what our daily sale reports are, to what our daily reviews are. I keep a tap on everything. It's difficult, but I try and manage it.
No, I'm sure you are doing it very well. And you just mentioned about a new cocktail experience which is coming in Gurgaon. And I heard in Delhi. Is it a speakeasy?
I mean, I'd love to say it's a speakeasy, but unfortunately, speakeasy has lost its meaning. So I'd say it's a restrictive bar.
Oh, okay. So when it can you speak more about it? Or
I mean, we're launching it next month. We're launching it within the next 10 days.
Next 10 days.
It's a bar that is going to be built on community.
Okay.
It's going to have its own tribe of people that sort of feel comfortable in it. They enjoy the food. It's the first bar in India to not have a menu. There is no menu in the bar.
Oh, nice.
So what happens is when you go to a bar, you're often, when you go to a bar, you see the menu. You are having what the bar wants you to have.
True.
And often what happens is you don't end up having what you want to have.
Oh.
Everybody has a favorite drink. Everybody has their dream drink.
True.
But when you go to a bar, you put that aside and you're often having what they want you to have.
True.
Now this bar has no menu.
Okay.
You go to the bar, you tell your favorite glass, you tell your favorite liquor, you tell your favorite flavor. Go to as much depth as you can to get the drink closest to your heart. We'll make one for you.
It's very tempting.
Yeah, so there is no
I'm
menu.
Already tempted for this.
Yeah, there's no menu.
So
You come and tell us what you want. What's your dream cocktail like? We'll make it for you.
When you say it's a community and a tribe, how does one get into it? Like, is
See,
there a
it's
process?
uncomplicated.
Yeah.
It's uncomplicated to an extent that, you know, people who know about it can only come because there is no signage, there is no board.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a bar which is within the restaurant. So it's a speakeasy. But like I said,
But not
I
a
don't want to call it speakeasy. So I'd rather call it a restrictive community bar. You come inside the bar, your bartenders are your friends. We have ledgers where we write down what you had last time, so that the next time you come, you get the same drink again.
Okay,
So
that's how you keep the tab.
Yeah, so
Oh,
your
nice.
customized cocktail is named by you.
Okay,
It's next time you come, you say I want this, and that's ready with us.
amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And one last thing I would like to ask you, like you have already mentioned your plans. Where do you see yourself being a restaurant owner? How do you see that? Okay, these are the brands which I have made. The other brands I'm coming with. Where do you see yourself going in pan-India presence, and how do you see the brands growing? Would you be looking at new cities within India, and how is your plan now?
See, honestly, I don't plan too far away, too far ahead. I mean, I live by the day, and I'm a very gut imbibing person. I listen a lot to my gut, and I'm very sure I'm only going to do work which is super premium. It's only going to be for the top category of audience.
Okay.
So when I talk about top category of audience, my vision narrows down to major cities. So Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, like I said, London now, Dubai, San Francisco. These are plans that I have in my head over the next 2 years. I'm going to curate one restaurant per cuisine. So like we've got Japanese, we've got Italian, we've got South Indian, we've got Vietnamese. I'm working on Korean, like I said. I'll work on Mexican next year. So these are specific cuisines I want to open. I don't want to do one table for everybody, family table, so to say. So this is what we're working on, and let's see what flow takes us, where it takes us. I mean, I don't plan. When you plan, you're premeditated.
Yeah.
And when you're premeditated, you often don't do the things that should be done. You end up doing things that you plan to do. So I don't want to plan. I just want to go and let's see where the road takes us.
So anything for the young entrepreneurs who will watch this video?
I think be original. I think it's very important to be original. It's not important to copy somebody or go to a restaurant and try and recreate the same restaurant. I think it's very important to go out, eat, drink, go to places, but that should inspire you to do something better. If you're going out to just defeat that restaurant or to make a restaurant which looks like that, feels like that, then I think the start is wrong. So go to a restaurant, get inspired, make a concept which is better than that restaurant. That's victory. Victory is not reaching there, victory is surpassing that.
Well said. Keep inspiring. We look forward to the new restaurants you build.
Thank you.
And keep on building lots of them so that we can enjoy the food.
Thank you.
That's what the essence is about.
Absolutely. Enjoy the experience, and yeah, hopefully many more to come.
Thank you for speaking to us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.